and welcome. You are watching Don Bosco Media Network. This is Deepika Lingdor bringing to you the Salesian news across the globe. After a few days marked by heavy rains which caused dramatic flooding, the situation is still very serious in some parts of western Germany. As of this weekend, the death toll has risen to over 150 and a large number of people are still missing. Many had to leave their homes and spend the night outdoors. Some structures of the Salesians of Don Bosco have been affected by the floods and numerous properties have suffered damage. An assistance team in the city of Trier was evacuated due to the floods. The group, which follows children between 6 and 12 years old, is currently housed in the main house of Don Bosco Hellenberg, and until now it is still very when returned to their rooms. Don Bosco Hellenberg and Don Bosco Trier therefore try to help us as much as possible. Teachers and students from the Waldorf school are providing help to the kindergarten Billig, while the monastery shop and the Hellenberg bakery have distributed meals, especially bread, slices of cake and coffee. Less serious was the situation at the Opera Don Bosco Junkerat, which had only a power outage and some problems with telephone connection and internet access. Because of their higher position, they did not have to suffer much difficulty. So the team that works there wants to offer accommodation facilities to families with children. You can ask for help from Don Bosco Junkerat. In the regions of Cologne, Bonn, Junkerat, Hellenberg and Trier, the many employees who work for the Salesians are worried about the huge losses suffered. Their homes are mostly flooded, their properties are damaged, and it is impossible for many families to return to their homes. Our thoughts are with them and with all the other people affected by the flood. They write from Germany, inviting us to pray for all those involved in this terrible disaster. Children and young people must be given ample freedom to play, run, jump and play sports. This is well known by the Salesian missionaries who are in 134 countries of the world carry out the preventive system of Don Bosco, the Salesian educational method that among its many applicants put on the same level the activities related to education and those related to sharing of moments of play and sport, effective means to promote physical and spiritual health, to promote commitment on different fronts, to promote balanced growth and sociability. Educating is not just transferring notions and instruction. Educating is awakening, stimulating, promoting. Today, in the thousands of missions in the world, the Salesian educational system accustoms the youngest to confront others and to grow. It helps them to read themselves inside to face their future in a determined way away from poverty, from the road, from hunger. As a sportswoman, former world champion of the long jump, mother of two talented young athletes, Fiona May, testimonial of the Salesian Missionary Prosecutor's Office of Turin Missioni Don Bosco, for years believed in sports as a fundamental tool for the growth of girls and boys. Sport for Fiona means getting involved and respecting others. It means commitment and determination, having team spirit, ability to relate and manage defeat. And it is with these words and this spirit that a year and a half ago, the testimonial of Missioni Don Bosco chose to combine solidarity and sport. He decided to leave for his first missionary journey to Mekanisa, a Salesian mission in the poor neighborhood of Addis Ababa. There, in the Don Bosco Center, home of over 400 street children, between a visit, a lesson with the voice, a chat with Don Angelo Regazzo, Salesian missionary, Fiona played with dozens of young children of the center, taught them the fundamental principles of the long jump, followed their days in sports and recreation activities. In that place, a center that boasts 30 years of activity, a house designed to accompany the poorest and most lonely children, Fiona May discovered firsthand the great program of the Salesian family in the world. A program consisting of many projects of education, training, reception and promotion of women, projects to protect the rights of children, which Fiona supports with its commitment. Soon then, he will return to these places in person after his parentheses as sent to Tokyo for the 2020-2021 Olympic Games. A symbol, the latter of world sport, a sporting event that has been promoting non-discrimination, equality and solidarity since 1896. Which favors the advent of a peaceful society and respects for universal fundamental ethical principles. The Summer Boys, organized by the Salesians in Lebanon in the mountain of El Hoson district of Byblos, reveals itself more and more as an oasis of peace, serenity and conviviality in a dramatic social, political and economic context unprecedented in the centenary history of modern Lebanon. About 800 boys and girls are involved, Lebanese, Syrian and Iraqi, with dozens of volunteer animators adequately trained. Syrians and Iraqis are all refugees, resident in Lebanon for several years. Syrians are waiting to be able to return to their country, while Iraqis are waiting to be welcomed in a third country. While the Syrians are all Muslims and the Iraqis Christians, the Lebanese are mixed. But in the vast majority, they are Christians and in accordance with the demographics of the area and live within a radius of 10 to 15 kilometers from the Salesian center. Syrian boys also reside in the area. Iraqis, on the other hand, reside in the suburb of Beirut, more than 40 kilometers away. For all, transport is assured, as well as a daily distribution of a sandwich and a drink. Never before had the Salesian house of El Hoson known as a crowded summer boys, even if the daily frequency is divided into the days of the week according to nationality and the age of participants from 6 to 15 years. A collective training and recreational program or in groups constitute the central nucleus, flanked by moments of free, playful activities, especially sports. It is impressive to see that the joy that shines on the faces of children and adolescents and the enthusiasm they put into participating in the various activities proposed, they write from the oratory. Even Muslim girls who wear the veil put aside their traditional reserve to get involved in the atmosphere that surrounds them, they add. All this contrasts strongly with the climate currently prevailing in the country: distrust, poverty, misery, unemployment, galloping devaluation of the Lebanese lira, instability and sometimes insecurity, lack of basic products, medicines and most basic social services. From day to day, in a crisis that has now lasted for 2 years, aggravated by the terrible explosion in the port of Beirut on August 4, 2020, no glimmer of light is seen. Sowing joy, trust and giving hope, as well as giving concrete help, remains the primary objective of Don Bosco's children in the current situation in Lebanon. He expects the day when the light will triumph and then Lebanon will return to being country message described by Pope St. John Paul II. Today, July 22nd, is the Dies Natalis anniversary of Monsignor Giuseppe Cognata, 1885 to 1972, SDB Bishop of Bova. He was the founder of the Salesian Oblates of the Sacred Heart, a pious society of generous young people willing to work with courage and joy in the smallest, most remote abandoned centers. On 29th January 1972, he had the joy of knowing that the institute has been recognized by the Holy See with a decree of praise. He died on 22nd July on the same year in Pelaro, Reggio Calabria, the initial seat of the missionary activity of the Salesian Oblates. His remains rest in the General House of the Oblate Sisters in Tivoli. Don Bosco said, "I am glad you have fun, that you play, that you are cheerful. This is a method of making you saints." On the facade of Viceno di Amato Institute of Gragnano in the southern province of Our Lady of Good Counsel IMR, line after line, shade after shade, the face emerges increasingly vivid of St. John Bosco, founder of the Congregation of the Salesians. To paint it with singular mastery is the hand of the street artist Leticia Mandagora, already author of 2 other wonderful murals in the city of Pasta. The saint's gaze on Via Vittorio Veneto comes to life and is colored by an expression that invites, welcomes and embraces. "Come and play with us," he seems to say, clutching a tennis ball. His bust stands as a bulwark on the region and countries that make up the southern province: Puglia, Campania, Basilicata, Calabria, Albania and Malta. Before him, books and some tools are a symbol of his educational action, education, training and work. For 90 years in the territory of Gragnano, the Daughters of Mary Help of Christians have been pursuing educational purposes with promotional activities in favor of young people and spreading the Salesian charism. The Diamato Institute has been for generations a reality that is dedicated to young people, offering them a space in which to grow and have fun, guided by the 3 cornerstones of Don Bosco's preventive system: reason, religion and loving kindness. The project, wanted and supported with the offers and affection the Grandnani's population, is a sign of the desire to improve their city and combat degradation and educational poverty. The work of mural art stands as a seal placed by the citizens for the 90 years during which the heart of Don Bosco has continued to beat in thousands of young people and through the hands of those who with faith continue to carry out his work. Closeness, affection and concern are the three words that Director Major Angel Fernandez Arteme has wanted to transmit for the serious situation of the coronavirus to the Salesians present in India through a letter sent in early May to the Councillor for South Asia, Don Michael Biju, to the inspectors and to the Salesians of India. The Director Major is aware that the news coming from a great nation such as India can be confusing, but it is the Salesians themselves and the international media that describe a very difficult situation. Among the areas where they are suffering, the most are those in which the intensely present as Salesian communities, later citing those recognized by the Salesian family in the areas of Calcutta, Mumbai and Shillong. Difficulties in obtaining medical assistance and adequate care are a shared problem throughout the country, as well as getting around even in an emergency situation. The 10th successor of Don Bosco with a sore heart is aware of the many problems of which he has been informed. "It is not me, dear brothers, who can illustrate to you," wrote the Rector Major, "what you and yours know very well and every day, but I would like you to feel strong my closeness, that of the whole congregation, that of all the brothers and all the Salesian family throughout the world." Giving encouragement in the face of reality that risks weakening souls, he praises in his letter the great contribution that they have made as Salesian family in recent months. "Your response to this global challenge in recent months has been exemplary for the entire Salesian world. You intervened promptly and with great generosity together with those in need, multiplying their efforts and initiatives. A demonstration is also given by hundreds of Salesians who have lost their lives to the contagion from the beginning of the pandemic until today. For all these reasons," says the Rector Major, "your pain does not leave us indifferent." He also remembers, as indicated in the message for Aguinaldo 2021, the hope in God and merry help of Christians that cannot be abandoned, even less so in the face of the pandemic. And in this month of May, he entrusts each and every one of you to the Mother of Heaven to help you in life, to help all of you support your efforts with closeness and solidarity. From the presentation of the program of Pope Francis's apostolic visit to Slovakia from 12 to 17 September 2021, it was announced that on Tuesday 14 September, the Holy Father will meet the Roma community at the Salesian House in the Lunik 9th district in Kosike, a suburban neighborhood with the largest Roma population in Slovakia. The Salesians of Don Bosco have been present in the place since 2008. Father Peter Besenye, delegate for the pastoral care of Roma in the Salesian province of Slovakia SLK, and secretary of the Slovak Episcopal Commission for Roma and Minorities, expects the participation of thousands of Romas from all over Slovakia. On 2nd July, a series of concerts entitled Boski Grani, literally Divine Play in Polish, but also known as music in the style of Don Bosco, began in the city of Oswiecim. The latter are organized by the Salesians and supported by the city of Oswiecim. Music in the style of Don Bosco is an initiative that has been taking place for 3 years and constitutes a series of concerts and theatrical performances that takes place every Friday. It is a proposal addressed to citizens and tourists and above all to young artists who thus have a chance to perform on a professional stage. Yesterday, 21st July 2021, at the Generalate of Daughters of Merry Help of Christians in Rome, RCG, the members of the FMA and SDB General Councils met. It was the first time since the General Chapter of the Salesians, which ended in March 2020. A moment of fraternity and mutual knowledge on the eve of the celebration of the 24th General Chapter of the Daughters of Merry Help of Christians. The municipality of Brenna has carried out a award ceremony for people and institutions of the Brenna district who, for their admirable heroic deeds and work, have distinguished themselves in the context of the fight against the pandemic for the benefit of the citizens. For the Manuel Cayo, Superior of the Salesian Province of Peru, PER, received recognition as a representative of the St. Francis de Sales Salesian College for its educational importance and the precious work in creating a vaccination center against COVID-19 in the institute. Well, dear viewers, that is all we have for you today. Until we meet again, thank you for watching.